All right, guys, good morning. Welcome to our live Beluga feed. We are coming at you from Churchill, Manitoba, in Treaty 5 territory, home to the Cree, the Dene, the Inuit, and the Métis peoples. We are up here in northern Canada, of course, on the western side of Hudson Bay, and I do apologize, we're a little late this morning. We had a delay. The fog here is as thick as pea soup, so we were kind of stranded on shore there for a little bit, trying to decide if it was going to get better or not. It has improved a little bit, still pretty thick, but it doesn't seem to affect the belugas. We have quite a few on the back right now, which is great. I'm Brian, of course, and I'm on the Sea Canary, which is Polar Bears International's Beluga boat. We are running live cams for Explore.org. We have an underwater camera, an above water camera, as well as a hydrophone, so you guys can really listen to these guys. We are, of course, Polar Bears International. We inspire action to protect polar bears and their Arctic sea ice home through research, education, advocacy, and international collaboration. For today, we will be just kind of idling around the estuary here, hanging with these whales. We have about an hour and a half here, a little bit shorter morning now, but still should get some great whale viewing. If you guys have any questions, please pop them into the comment section. We have some great minds aboard this morning. We have beluga researcher Jacqueline, and we have researcher Mariana, and we have Terrence and Emily from Polar Bears International as well. So get those comments in the comment section, and I will check in with you guys in just a little bit. So I just hopped over quickly to the comment section. Great to see everybody back this morning. Again, thanks for hanging in with us there through the delay. Stilling, I saw that you had a couple really good captures of that scar on the dorsal ridge of that whale that was behind us. That's a great shot, and that's definitely a scar that would, that researchers could use to identify that whale again. That scar will most definitely stay with the whale for the life of the whale, so there's no amount of molting or scratching would take that scar off, I don't think. Great capture. Just motored up here for a minute, guys. Just heading a little bit farther out the estuary. I see quite a few whales out there. The fog is starting to lift a little more, which is nice. It's a little breezy here today. We have a northeast wind, and I think it's supposed to gust up to 50 kilometers an hour at some point. So I can certainly see it frisking up here, but we should be all good for today's tour. We do have a small group of whales right here ahead of us. They do look to be maybe feeding, not sure, but sometimes they look like they are coming to check us out, and then they kind of veer off and do something else, and then they come back. So just hang tight. We're going to see what we can come up with, see if they want to come by and say hello. If not, We will head up the estuary and see what else we can find. Right now on the port side for the above water cam, you may see those whales. They're kind of going in the opposite direction we are, but they're going to come right by our port side. We got a whole bunch right now on our starboard side just hanging out. I can actually see a couple really big ones here just on my starboard side, checking me out through through the window. Very, very inquisitive creatures, as I'm sure you guys are seeing on the underwater cams when they come by. Just hopped over to the comment section, and Baroness had a really good question. She asked how high the swell can get in the estuary here. It can get quite rough here. Like right now, we're not dealing with any swell. It's just waves from the wind. But if you head out to the mouth of the estuary, like where it kind of runs, the river runs right out into the bay where they meet, it gets pretty turbulent, especially with wind on the land like it is today, coming out of the northeast. You can easily get swells out there, up to 2 to 3 meters when it's really bad. And of course you have tide to deal with as well, so sometimes you'll get the swell coming one way, the tide going the other, and maybe even the wind going in another direction, and it causes some serious turbulent water, which can be very challenging to navigate. That's a very, very good question. Being Still, I just saw your comment. Good morning. Good to see you back. Arctic Fox, you too. Sugar G Mom 21, good to see you. I love how blue that water is today on the cams, guys. Looks great. Visibility looks pretty decent. I noticed somebody grabbed a still of a jelly. I've seen quite a few zip by here too. So we do have a group of whales here all around us. You may hear them on the hydrophones, but they are quite busy. So they kind of come and take a look, and they're gone again. Maybe feeding, perhaps. On the port side, above water cam, you may see this particular group of whales right now, kind of zipping around there, and I do see a few more outside of that again that seem to be maybe heading this way and joining, so we'll just see what happens here. getting back to the scars on some of these whales, I know somebody grabbed a pretty cool pic of the scar, the dorsal ridge of one of those whales. And researcher Jacqueline just mentioned that she believes she did recognize one that she saw last year, just based on those dorsal ridge scars. So that's pretty neat. We have a new group right now coming up on the port side, so we'll see what happens here. Again, they do seem quite busy, but we may come take a look. So I just hopped over to the comment section, and I Love V-Bears had a great question there. They said, you mentioned yesterday that the beluga whales go to the Arctic for the winter. This means they swim under ice, correct? What do they eat in winter? And that is a great question. They certainly do go under the ice in the winter. They will use leads and cracks leads in the ice to breathe, and they'll follow those leads along and forage for food under there. Again, you will notice that they have no dorsal fin, and this aids in their ability to actually swim right beneath that ice. When they're they're generalists in a way that they will feed on what's available to them at the time. So they can certainly find small fish species at times, Arctic cod certainly, and small invertebrates as well. They'll dig around on the ocean floor and kind of suck up what they can get. So they do kind of feed on whatever is generally available at the time, and that would depend on whatever particular place they're in. But in the winter, certainly Arctic cod would be on the menu for sure. So I'm just motoring up here, guys, moving a little bit closer to the port. I do see quite a few whales over that way, it looks like, and that'll get us a little out of the wind, and hopefully it won't make the camera so rocky there for you. So we do have a group right now on our starboard side that are riding along with us. I'm not sure if they'll come to the cams or not, but we do have quite a few up ahead as well. But this is this seems like a group of juveniles, a lot of juveniles mixed in this one, and some pretty cool scarring on these whales as well, so check that out. Oh, here they are. They just came by, but got quite a few whales all around us here now, guys. They are coming in periodically to check us out, and that water clearly looks super right now to me on my end. Hope you guys are hearing them good as well. I tell you, it is a cold, wet, foggy, chilly day here in Churchill, Manitoba. And we're all bundled up here, and definitely could use some of that beluga blubber here now. If I had it on me, I would be quite a bit warmer, I'm sure. Just hopped over to the comment section, and Arctic Fox, I saw your comment, and you said, considering the weather conditions, they do seem pretty active, and I would have to agree there for sure. I would even say maybe a little more active, to be honest. They're doing a lot of topwater stuff, a lot of tail flapping, spy hopping a little bit. So they seems to be much more active this morning. And I'm not entirely sure, but maybe this kind of weather excites them a little. Maybe I know back home in Newfoundland, through my work with humpback whales and different dolphin species there, that sometimes you get these windy, rainy, dreary days, and the whales are just jumping like crazy. So, yeah, who knows? Maybe it excites them a little. Just hopped over to the comments section. Loving the pics, guys, in the comments. Sugar G Mom 21 said, "Thank you, Captain Brian. I am still trying to keep up with the pics." Arctic Fox said, "Playtime for them. The waves, I would even think, stirs up some food for them." Yes, I would. I would certainly agree with that as well. When it's rough on the surface, it is also rough underwater. So that can also, on the outside of the estuary, out into the bay, where it's really windy and really churning up a lot of things, that can also be pushed into the estuary as well. So yeah, I'm sure there are some treats coming in for them. Absolutely. Being still, I would absolutely take that Michigan sun right now. So if you can send it along, I will willingly take it. Just turned around here. We're going to head up the estuary a little bit. I do see quite a few whales down that way, or up that way, sorry. So just hang with us here for a couple minutes. I'm just going to motor around up here, see what else we can find you. So, guys, I spoke a little bit earlier about how, chilly it is here today, and it's cold on the fingers, on the face, everything. The water, the spray is certainly freezing. That's coming from the ocean. But these whales right now would be, this is I would assume this is almost kind of like the tropics for them, compared to what they're used to being in all winter long. And again, that thick skin and that 5-inch blubber layer keeps them super insulated, so they can take extreme temperatures. So we have quite a few whales around us right now, both port side and starboard. So I'm just gonna ease my way up a little further. Seems to be whales everywhere here now up ahead, so should get some good viewing here periodically. The above water cam right now on the port side, you may see some brave souls, some tourists out battling these conditions today as well. Out in the open in the Zodiacs viewing the whales. They're all troopers. Starting to get some visitors now, guys, on the underwater cam. I think the water clarity is still really good on this side as well, because I can see some whales showing up really far back, which normally we don't see. So WPMN says, hard to see, but looks like a young one. Yes, absolutely. We are seeing quite a few again today. Seen a lot of small female groups with multiple calves in tow, which is always good to see. These calves are going to stay with mom now for the next 2-3 years. The calves that are born this year, of course. And mom is going to teach them everything. And that whole migration of these whales that come back every single year to the Churchill Estuary, that's learned behavior that they learn from their parents. It's passed down generationally. And it keeps them coming back to the same area every year. So I think we're getting some great views here, guys. I hope you guys are enjoying it so far. I think what we are going to do, discuss it with the Explorer team. I think I'm going to push it a little longer here for you guys, because normally we would only have 15 minutes left, but we're going to push it a little longer for you, stretch it out for the next 45 minutes, so you guys will make up some of that time we lost this morning, so you still get a close to a full tour and some great views. So I hopped over to the comment section, and I did see that somebody grabbed a snap of that calf that was super close to Mom, right up under there. But the comments were coming in so fast, I kind of lost track of who it was. I think it was Bean Still, maybe, but forgive me if I'm wrong on that one. But it was a great capture, and that calf might actually be nursing or, looking to kind of nudging Mom, saying like, "Hey, listen, I want to nurse now." So that's a pretty cool shot. We're just going to slowly turn around here and head kind of back the direction that we came. So many whales here now. I know you guys are getting some great views, I'm sure. But we are in the midst of beluga soup again. So that's a good complaint, I think. Just hop back to the comment section, and Chestnut Tree had a great question. Can the data from Beluga bits be used by any beluga researcher in the world, like a database that universities can ask about? Today, we don't actually have anybody on board from the Assiniboine Park Conservancy to kind of elaborate on that question, but I do believe they do share with other research groups. I would assume that they would just have to kind of reach out to the Assiniboine Park Conservancy and get the data from there. But yeah, I know that they are certainly willing to share, as far as I know. That's a great question. All right, guys. So we're just motoring along here, just trying to give everybody room, and we're going to be right back into the whales in a matter of minutes, seconds even, maybe. But right now, in the meantime, I have beluga researcher Jacqueline right here with me in the hot seat, and I had a couple questions myself, because we are seeing quite a few calves today. I mean, we've seen quite a few every day, but today seems to be like there's a lot. So, Jacqueline, I'm just wondering, I guess, what is the mortality rate for these calves? I know, obviously, not every single calf makes it, certainly not, and they don't in any animal species. So, I'm just curious to see, what the mortality rate is, I guess, and what factors play into that.
That's a really good question. So beluga calves are born pretty vulnerable. They're pretty small. They don't have a lot of blubber insulating them from the cold waters. So we do see a reasonably high, quite a high mortality rate for those first newborn calves, probably around 20 to 30% is what we've estimated. Now, this varies a lot between different populations, and some populations have more concerns with predation than others, so that can certainly play a role in increasing or decreasing mortality rates. As far as the things that are threatening those calves, we know that sometimes if we're in an area that has some toxic algal blooms, that can be really detrimental to the calves. They're very, very vulnerable to that kind of thing. In areas where we have a lot of environmental contamination, we also tend to see calves that don't tend to thrive as much as areas that are more pristine, like in more northern areas. So there really are a lot of factors. Another important factor is just disturbance. So if you're in a really noisy area where the mother and calf are not able to keep in contact acoustically, it can be quite dangerous for the calf to get separated from its mother. And then if they're not able to find each other again, it's really only a matter of hours before a calf is unfortunately going to starve because they need to feed really regularly. One thing that we've noted in the St. Lawrence estuary is that historically, on average, a female is going to have a calf about every 3 years. And in recent decades, we've noted a shift where, on average, the females are giving birth every 2 years, which kind of sounds like good news. You think there might be more babies being born, but in fact, it's just reflecting higher calf mortality in that population. So that's something that we're watching closely. So far in Churchill, that seems to not be the case. It does seem to be more of an average situation of about every 3 years, the female's giving birth. So that's pretty good news.
Yeah, that's some great points there, Jacqueline. And you did mention about the calf being separated from the mom, if they can't communicate because of noise or whatever. And it is my understanding that, of course, the calves aren't vocally as loud as their mothers as well.
Yes, exactly. So as humans, we're used to thinking about babies being really loud and making a lot of noise, but it's not quite the case with beluga calves. So if you're living in an area that has a lot of predation, particularly orcas or anything that's going to be able to hear a baby in the water, I mean, that's going to be a siren call, calling in predators. So the calves are pretty quiet. They have very quiet vocalizations, very low frequency vocalizations that are easily masked by boat noise, and that makes them really vulnerable to noise, especially in the summer months when they're just born.
Yeah, that's great, and that's a good point. And yeah, so of course our human children are certainly much louder. So that's a good point. It's it's hard to think of a baby being super quiet, but yeah, that's and that's why it's so important that these waterways stay some as quiet as possible as we can make it from huge industry and stuff like that. One other thing I did want to touch on, and we did discuss it a little bit yesterday, but of course we're seeing a lot of white whales, we're seeing a lot of gray whales. Generally, the rule of thumb is you see a gray whale and it is a juvenile, but it can be still difficult to tell sometimes because them being a juvenile just based on their color is not always the case. Is that correct?
Yeah, so I would say belugas are sort of like humans in the sense that some of them will be maturing faster than others. Sometimes we'll see whales that are very big, like full adult size, and they're still fairly gray. So I think there's some variation there. In terms of how long it takes for them to get completely white, we're probably talking in the range of 12 to 15-ish years. So around the time that they become sexually mature, you would expect them to be pretty much their adult coloration. Once in a while we will see females with calves that are still kind of gray, so probably they're fairly young. That's probably their first calf that they're having. So there's certainly, there's rules of thumb, but it's not a hard and fast rule. Sometimes we see exceptions. But generally, if you see a whale, a beluga that's fully white, that is a full adult. When they're born, they're actually generally kind of a light brown color. And you can imagine that if you're being born into these shallow, muddy estuaries, that's a pretty good color to be if you're trying to hide from predators and sort of blend into the environment. And of course, as you become an adult and you're spending more time in icy areas, that white coloration becomes really advantageous when you're trying to escape the notice of other predators like polar bears and killer whales.
Thanks, Jacqueline. Thanks for answering all my questions, and we appreciate having you here, of course. And we'll get back to the whale viewing here now. And also thank you for being a trooper and battling the conditions with us this morning.
Well, thanks for having me in the cabin to warm up a little bit. It's been great answering questions.
Alrighty, guys. Any more questions you have, again, drop them in the comments section. And we will be live for about another 20, 25-ish minutes. So enjoy. All right, guys. So we do have a few more minutes left. We're just heading back towards the whales again here. Now, the water clarity you're going to see is going to get a little bit murkier. A lot of that sediment water has moved down the estuary and towards us now. So, but we still should get some good views here for the last few minutes. Cheryl 70, good to see you back on here. You mentioned that you were on a tour last week and the water was murky the whole time. So I'm glad you got to see the water clarity a little better today. We just actually got into more murky water again, but the majority of the tour, we had some great water quality, so that was good. Alrighty, guys. Well, I hope you enjoyed today's tour. I think we had some pretty incredible viewing. The water was great, basically up until now, which was awesome. And I hope that kind of made up for those that little bit of time that we lost this morning on our end due to that fog. So I think overall it worked out. I want to thank you guys, obviously, for tuning in every day. I want to say thanks to our new viewers that tuned in today as well. Of course, thank you to explore.org. If it wasn't for you guys, we wouldn't be here. We certainly wouldn't be able to bring these incredible experiences from Churchill to the world. So thank you again for that. And thank you to our good friends over at Frontiers North Adventures. We appreciate you. Tomorrow's schedule should be a better day tomorrow. We should be right on time at 8 a.m. Central Time. And we are running from 8 a.m. until 11 a.m. tomorrow. So I hope to see all you guys back here tomorrow, because tomorrow is actually my last day as Beluga boat captain for this season, which is a little bittersweet for me. I need to get back home to my family now, my wife and my little girl. I've been gone for a month, and lots of stuff piling up on the to-do list at home. So I got to take off, unfortunately. But so again, I'm really hoping to see all you guys back here tomorrow for my last day. Monday, you guys will be joined by the new Beluga boat captain for the remainder of the season, Sean. And you guys are in for a treat. Sean's a great guy and an incredible captain, and I know he's going to do a great job. So tomorrow morning I will see you guys at 8 a.m. And again, I hope you enjoyed today's viewing, and I hope you have a good remainder of your day, wherever you may be and whatever you may be doing. Take care.